I answered the phone, thinking it was my boyfriend. But it wasn't him. I used to fall asleep on the phone a lot. Not like every night, but enough that it kind of became a routine without us really planning it, where I'd just wait for him to get off work. And even if I was tired, I'd answer when he called, and we'd talk for a bit before I drifted off. And most of the time, I don't even remember the conversations fully, just that he called, and I picked up, and that was it. So the night this happened, nothing about it felt different at first. It was a Saturday, and I remember he told me earlier he might go out with his friends after work, so I wasn't really expecting a call that night. I went to sleep kind of early actually, just tired, didn't think much of it, and then my phone rang. I didn't even check who it was. I just picked up, barely awake, eyes still closed, and said, "Baby, I miss you so much." I remember saying that really clearly, because it's something I would always say without thinking. And there was a pause. Not a normal pause either, just silence. And then I heard it. It was a voice, but not clear. It sounded like it was coming through static, like when a signal cuts in and out. And underneath that, there was a man's voice. Low, kind of raspy. And it said,
"I miss you too."
And the weird part is, I didn't question it right away. I was still half asleep, so my brain just filled in the gaps and assumed it was him. So I kept talking like normal, told him I loved him, said I'd been waiting for his call, and every time I said something like that, it repeated it back. Same tone, same static underneath, same delay, like it was listening, then copying. And I don't remember everything we said, but I remember the feeling that something about it wasn't lining up. Not enough to wake me up fully, just enough that it felt off. After a few minutes, I said goodnight like I always did, and it said it back in the same whispered voice, same tone, and then the call just ended. The next morning, my boyfriend called me like normal, and the first thing he said was that he was sorry he didn't call the night before, because he didn't want to wake me if I was already asleep. And I remember just sitting there for a second, trying to process that, because I had talked to him. I knew I had. I told him what happened, like exactly how I remembered it, and he just kept saying, "That wasn't me." I really thought for a second that he was playing a joke on me. He kept on denying it, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized the voice didn't really sound like him. Not fully, just close enough. There was something I didn't tell my boyfriend, not because I didn't want to, but because I didn't want to make it even stranger than it already was. When I got the strange call, it's as if something was controlling my emotions, like the feelings I had were so intense. It made it even creepier now that it wasn't him. A few nights later, it happened again. But this time, I was more awake when I answered, and the moment I picked up, I didn't say anything right away. I just listened, and then I heard it first. Same static, same low voice.
"Hello, baby. What are you doing?
And the way it said it sounded comfortable, familiar, like it had said it before, more than once. That's when my stomach dropped. Not all at once. Just that slow, sinking feeling where you realize something isn't right, but you're still trying to convince yourself it is. My hand actually tightened around the phone without me thinking about it. And I remember sitting up a little in bed, just listening harder, like if I paid enough attention, I'd be able to figure out who was on the other line. And then it said it again.
What are you doing?
But this time, it sounded closer. Not louder exactly, just closer. And that's when I asked, "Who is this?" And the second I said that, everything stopped. No static, no breathing, nothing at all. And I didn't hang up right away either. I just froze and kept the phone there, listening, trying to breathe as quiet as I can under my breath, because for some reason it felt like if I moved or made any sound at all, something worse might happen. I could hear my heart racing in my chest. And that's when I realized something that made it even worse. While I couldn't hear anything on the line, it didn't feel empty either. It felt like something was still there, listening, waiting, just not speaking anymore. And then the call just dropped. I remember pulling the phone away and just staring at it for a second, like I was expecting it to ring again immediately. And my heart was beating fast enough that I could feel it in my throat, like every second felt louder than it should have been. I didn't go back to sleep after that. I just sat there, lights on, doors locked, waiting with the phone in my hand. And every little sound after that felt different, like everything had shifted just slightly. I called my boyfriend right after that, told him everything again. And this time, it didn't feel like something we could just ignore. We tried reporting it, but there wasn't really anything they could do. The police said there was no number, no record, nothing to trace. So I changed my number. Completely. And after that, it never happened again. It's been a while now, and nothing like that has happened since, but I still don't answer calls the same way anymore. Even now, if my phone rings late at night, I check it first. Every time. And if it says unknown, I just let it ring, because I keep thinking about how easy it was to believe I knew who I was talking to.